In the heart of the city, under the seemingly calm surface of daily life, a chilling event unfolded. It was a Tuesday like any other until a single, piercing siren cut through the morning rush hour. A man, a well-respected local business owner, was found lifeless in his downtown office. The news sent a ripple of shock and fear through the community. Who would do such a thing and why? The city's best detectives were immediately on the case, led by the sharp and unwavering Detective Miller. The crime scene was a puzzle of contradictions. Nothing appeared to be stolen, and there were no obvious signs of a struggle. It was clean, almost too clean. Miller's gut told him this was no random act, this was personal. He gathered his team. "We start with his life," he announced, his voice steady. "Every friend, every rival, every business deal. Somewhere in the details of this man's life, we'll find the reason for his death, and the person responsible." The first 48 hours were a blur of interviews and dead ends. The victim, Mr. Harrison, was described by everyone as a kind, generous man. He had no known enemies. The team pored over his financial records, phone logs, and security footage from the entire block. They interviewed family members, employees, and business partners. Each conversation added a piece to the puzzle, but the full picture remained frustratingly out of reach. The pressure was mounting, not just from the public, but from within the department. Everyone wanted answers. Just when it seemed they were hitting a wall, a junior officer, Officer Chen, noticed something tiny, something everyone else had missed. On a grainy security video from a coffee shop across the street, a figure was seen leaving the building's side entrance around the estimated time of the incident. The figure was wearing a generic hooded sweatshirt, their face obscured. But Chen spotted a distinctive limp, a slight, almost imperceptible drag of the left foot. It was a long shot, but it was their first real lead. Detective Miller seized on the detail. "Run a search," he commanded. "Cross-reference recent hospital records, physical therapy clinics, anyone with a recent leg injury. Check it against anyone remotely connected to Harrison." It was a monumental task, sifting through thousands of records. For days, the team worked around the clock, fueled by coffee and a dogged determination to find justice for Mr. Harrison. They were no longer just police officers, they were avengers for a silent victim. The search finally yielded a name, a former employee, let go from Harrison's company 6 months prior due to downsizing. His name was Leo, and hospital records showed he'd been treated for a sprained ankle 2 weeks before the murder, an injury sustained in a workplace accident before he was fired. The connection was tenuous, but it was there. Miller and Chen drove to Leo's last known address, a rundown apartment on the outskirts of the city. Their hearts pounded with a mix of anticipation and caution. The apartment was empty, but it wasn't clean. It was a mess of bitterness and resentment. On a desk, they found piles of angry letters addressed to Mr. Harrison, none of them ever sent. They detailed a deep-seated grudge, a belief that Leo was unfairly dismissed and that Harrison had ruined his life. Hidden under the mattress, they found a hooded sweatshirt, identical to the one in the video. The net was closing. They had found their prime suspect. Now, the hunt was on, and all points bulletin was issued for Leo. His face was on every news channel, his name on every radio broadcast. The city that had been gripped by fear was now united in a city-wide manhunt. Tips started pouring in. Someone saw him at a bus station. Another thought they spotted him near the docks. Each lead sent police racing, but Leo was always one step ahead, a ghost in the urban sprawl. He was running, and he was running scared. Detective Miller knew Leo wouldn't get far. He was desperate, with no money and no allies. Miller studied the map, tracing potential escape routes. "He's not thinking like a career criminal," Miller explained to his team. "He's thinking like a cornered animal. He'll go somewhere familiar, somewhere he feels he has an advantage." Miller's eyes landed on the old industrial district, a maze of abandoned warehouses and forgotten factories where Leo used to work years ago. It was a hunch, but a strong one. As dusk settled, casting long shadows across the city, Miller led a small, tactical team into the industrial district. The silence was eerie, broken only by the crunch of their boots on gravel and the distant hum of the city. They moved methodically, warehouse by warehouse. Finally, in a vast, cavernous building filled with rusting machinery, a floorboard creaked above them. They had found him, Leo. "This is Detective Miller. We know you're up there." "It's over," Miller called out, his voice echoing in the massive space. There was a frantic shuffling, then silence. Leo knew there was no escape. Slowly, a figure emerged from the shadows on a high catwalk. He looked down, his face a mask of despair and exhaustion. The chase was over. He was trapped, brought to bay by the relentless pursuit of justice. It was a somber victory, a quiet end to a violent story that had shaken the city to its core. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. If you appreciate detailed storytelling and want to see more cases like this brought to life, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue creating content for you. We'll see you in the next video.